Hello, fellow creature, welcome back to Rooftop Talks. The Boy Who Cried Wolf is a story many will know. The Boy Who Cried Wolf made it so that when there really was a wolf in the town that was attacking, nobody believed him because he had cried wolf too many times. And so the townspeople had grown skeptical of his claims. His false claims had turned the village into skeptics. On the internet and in the news, in the media, there are many false cries. There are many boys who are crying wolf. And so what people do is they become skeptical. To use more contemporary lingo, is people erect firewalls to not fall for trickery. A firewall will block a bad idea from being adopted by someone. Someone will be skeptical and they won't believe it. They won't believe a claim when it's made. But the firewall also blocks real claims. The firewall also blocks ideas that are important, that people should consider. If you've been on the internet for any length of time, people will have tried to hack you. Multiple people or entities will have tried to hack you. Not a handful of times, not a dozen times, hundreds of times. Just have a look through your junk mail. Most of them are trying to hack you in some kind of way. They're trying to offer you something, send false alarms to you, try and take control of your mind first. It's social engineering. They're trying to take control of your mind first, and then your bank account, or then your vote, and other things are trying to exploit you, okay? There is so much to gain from getting you to believe in something. What have we got? We've got crypto exit scams, pump and dumps, ransomware, viruses, data merchants, election swaying. In this kind of environment, believers get used and discarded. Skeptics survive. And this is the environment that veganism has to contend in. So no wonder veganism is immediately met with skepticism as a first reaction. Don't give me any more leaflets, don't send me any emails, don't try and get me to believe in something. That's what people will feel, and that's their firewall speaking. And it makes sense for them to have this firewall because of all the people who came before them. Jehovah's Witnesses, for example. The thing with the Jehovah's Witness is, Jehovah's Witness would be doing a great thing for you. They would be saving your soul if it were true. Religious zealots really ruined things for veganism. We get labeled as religious or like a religion all the time, despite not believing in a deity, not believing in the supernatural, having no concentration of power, and no charismatic leader, past or present, to be worshipped. Calling veganism a religion is like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It just doesn't fit. You can try and fit it into that hole, but really it just doesn't fit there. Veganism is not a religion. It's not even close to being a religion. It does not meet the description of a religion. But I can understand why it may remind you of a religion, why something about veganism comes across as slightly religious to you. I can understand that. The last time you heard someone speak with conviction, the way I'm speaking now, with conviction, it means you really are in alignment, you really believe with the whole fiber of your being, you believe in what it is you're saying. The last time you heard someone speak like that was either in a political forum or in a church or place of worship or equivalent place of worship. So those who aren't paying close attention to the content of what is being said will instead choose to fixate on the aesthetics of what's being said, the overall, just the look, the panache, the vibe, you know? And that's what they'll look at because it's easier than to actually assess the content of what is being said. The aesthetics of conviction kind of ring the same. They kind of sound similar in the tone that's being communicated. But it's because there is no shadow of a doubt within me when it comes to the plight of the animals. This is not something you have to take on faith. Faith, as you know, is belief without evidence. There is no absence of evidence for what the animals go through, for the atrocities that we're committing towards animals. There's no absence of evidence. It's no secret. It's in plain sight. So it's not faith that I am projecting here. It is an honest, accurate report on what the animals are going through, what we are putting these artificially inflated populations of livestock animals, particularly, what we are putting them through. For no good reason. The abuse, the exploitation that we put them through. We, as a collective, we should be ashamed of ourselves for what we do to the innocent animals, for what we put them through. We should be ashamed of ourselves. And I think we are ashamed of ourselves. And it's partly out of that sense of shame that we choose to bury this topic. We don't want it being brought up. But to not bring it up is to neglect our duties as caring human beings, as responsible human beings. So I'm going to keep making these videos. The situation we're in is one of skepticism, where everyone's firewalls are up and it prevents them of seeing the atrocity that is taking place. That is a problem that we need to confront. Hopefully I've given you something to think about. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
What did you do?
I went downstairs, outside. I crept up into the barn. I was so scared to look inside, but I had to.
What did you see, Clarice? What did you see?
Lambs. They were screaming.
They were slaughtering the spring lambs,
They were screaming.
and you ran away?
No. First I tried to free them. I opened the gate to their pen, but they wouldn't run. They just stood there, confused. They wouldn't run.
But you could, and you did, didn't you?
Yes. I took one lamb and I ran away as fast as I could.
Where were you going, Clarice?
I don't know. I didn't have any food, any water, and it was very cold. It was very cold. I thought if I could save just one, but he was so heavy. It was so heavy.
What became of your lamb, Clarice?
I killed him.
You still wake up sometimes, don't you? You wake up in the dark and hear the screaming of the lambs.
Yes.
And you think if you save poor Catherine, you could make them stop, don't you? You think if Catherine lives, you won't wake up in the dark ever again to that awful screaming of the lambs.
I don't know.